Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Padawan Podcast, Apocalypse Movies, all Star Wars podcast, where we break down everything from the galaxy far, far away, including film, TV, books, comics, and much, much more. I am Jake Blinn, a.k.a. Qui-Gon Jake, your host for this Padawan podcast. I am joined today by Keith Barnes and Brian Avlicino. I got Admiral Ack Barnes to my left, and I got the Silent Assassin straight ahead of me, who has yet again to get a Star Wars name.
We still don't have a name?
No, we still don't have a name. It's ridiculous, but it is what it is. So, we're here to talk Star Wars, and not a lot has been going on in the world of Star Wars lately. Obviously, we have the Solo novelization that was released, a couple comic books, not a whole lot of news in Star Wars itself. We do have a couple castings that I'm sure we'll be talking about with our main topic today. But before we get to that, I do want to mention that official images of Darth Maul were released from Solo, and we see Ray Park in the get-up once again from Maul, not Darth Maul, but Maul from Solo, A Star Wars Story, and we have him in the full black garbs with his crossguard lightsaber, a far different lightsaber than what we've seen before, and we get to get a glimpse at the robot legs that we've come to know from him from Clone Wars and Rebels. Really cool images, especially since he was just a hologram in Solo. Just getting a little coverage of it before we move on to our main topic. Keith, you see these images, man. What do you think of it?
I'm looking at the. First of all, it didn't even occur to me that it's just Maul. That's right.
It's just Maul.
The Darth.
Yeah.
Well, most of you die before you get to. There's no former Sith out there. It'd be the only one that can.
No, all the Sith dies because the apprentices kill the masters.
Yeah, or they get killed by a
Jedi or something. Yeah.
But anyway, I'm looking at the feet here, and they're more kind of like claw-like, kind of.
They were, but he got an upgrade in Rebels. Or it was at the end of Clone Wars, maybe, I believe.
Yeah.
So
right.
He had the tripod things you're talking about, right?
Yeah, right, there you go.
Yeah, he got an upgrade later on, either in Clone Wars or in the beginning of Rebels, yeah.
He's a little more like stampy.
They look like feet, like clown shoes.
Feety, yeah.
They're huge.
That's cool, man. He looks like looks a little more stout. Like he's
That's exactly what Brian said the first time I showed him.
Yeah, he's not.
But he didn't use stout.
I don't even remember saying.
He said he looks a little chubbier in the face. He looks a little bit thicker in the face.
Kind of sack. But maybe that's just Ray Park. I mean, if you look at him now, he's older. So
he's a little more fit than he was back then too, because he goes to Star Wars conventions and all that type of stuff. You could see him; he's much more built than he was back then. Right. Brian, you see this? I imagine the first thing you look at is that lightsaber.
Oh, 100%. I look at the lightsaber, but to be honest, his legs turn me off.
Really?
They to me are too big. I think when I think of him, he's super jumpy. Think of the first movie, obviously you can't really compare too much, but he still moves relatively fast in the Clone Wars and any other time we see him. In that picture, I just see him not being able to move his legs. They're huge to me, especially the one picture where he's kind of in a fighting stance
in a pose, yeah.
His legs are ginormous. The robot feet are huge. To me, I think they should be a little bit more thin. Yeah, they are huge.
He made them, right? Didn't he make them?
I don't know if I don't know. No, you know what happened actually? No, it was the Night Sisters that gave it to him.
Yeah.
When they brought him back from being psychotic to being Maul.
Okay.
He was. They gave him those in that transformation they gave to her. I do agree with you. They do look very.
I personally just can't see anyone moving with those big of legs, and especially someone like Darth Maul. It just looks weird to me. Maybe it's just the way the photo looks, the angle or something.
Yeah, I mean,
but they look ginormous.
Yeah, I mean, this is just it's basically like a photo shoot. He's in a gray background. There's nothing specific here, but. They could always change it in a different film. We've seen that happen plenty of times before, where another director gives his take on it or whatever it may be.
They look they remind me of duck feet.
Well, and here's the thing, this picture, whatever. I mean, obviously it's all canon or whatever, but when we saw him in Solo, we got a very small glimpse of the legs in the hologram.
It was digital,
and so they could very much change it. And obviously, the legs are going to be CGI anyway. And so they can do something different with them if they ever involve Maul again.
And when you see him in motion, it'll be
Yeah,
Probably have a
yeah.
different kinda-
But they do look pretty hefty. I'll say that.
They look like they're extremely hard to move. And
Well, that's what it's kind of sort of what I was thinking. Like when I said it, they look a little. I know they're not the claws. Talking
Yeah.
about, but I don't recall
They look
seeing
like
them
talons.
like that. Yeah, kind
Look
of.
like talons.
Yeah,
Giant
he,
claw.
He doesn't jump around quite as much, but I guess when he was.
I mean,
fighting-
he
when
did
fighting,
in the Clone Wars, obviously.
Yeah.
In Rebels, he was a little bit more
kinda-
held back.
yeah.
But I will say this: he is getting older.
Right.
He is getting older.
You
We
can
don't
see
know
it in
how
the
they
face.
we don't know how they age. Obviously, his race, but
You could see it in the face.
yes, see, he's very much out there, and for, this Maul is basically a leader of a gangster organization, and if they do what normal gangster organizations do, he has henchmen who do stuff for him.
Right.
Yeah.
Like he's just a guy who pretty much imposes a threat
Just a
to
threat,
others.
yeah.
Exactly. So,
With the Force.
but it's interesting. It's cool that they released him. Maybe they do have plans for him moving forward. Who knows? Only time will tell with this. But it is good to see kind of Ray Park back in the garbs for Darth Maul. So, but yeah, we're gonna move on to our official main topic of the show. It does involve some bad guys with some possible red sabers. We're gonna be talking about the Knights of Ren, and obviously whether or not they're gonna show up in Episode 9. Now, they were teasing The Force Awakens with that incredible flashback sequence for Rey. They were standing right behind Kylo Ren, was what we thought was where where Luke's temple was. In that flashback, and we haven't heard a beat from him since. A few words from Snoke here and there, but we haven't heard anything, and we don't know what's going to happen in Episode 9. Are they going to show up? Are they not going to show up? Time will only tell with this, but we're going to talk about theories, some speculation, discussions a little bit, and possibly who we can see with them, what they're going to do, and whatnot. I have my theories. I'm sure these guys too, and so Keith, I think I'm going to go to you first on this one, man. Are there any thoughts that immediately jump ahead to you as far as how the Knights of Ren are going to be involved, or even if they are going to be involved in Episode 9?
I don't want to sound like Star Wars fanboy, like, annoyed Star Wars fanboy that, whatever, complaining about stuff you have no control over, but I would be a little annoyed if they didn't show up at all.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine that. Like,
Yeah. Well, it was even a surprise that they didn't show up at all in the Last Jedi.
That's what I was about to say. We're cutting it kind of close here because we're getting into the last movie of this trilogy, and who knows how long of the main kind of storyline, whether or not they continue or whatever this storyline is or whatever, I don't know. But yeah, if we didn't see them at all, that because it's intriguing. Like, we don't know anything about them. What are they? What are they?
We don't even know if they're Force sensitive
Because
we didn't
like
see
any of them had lightsabers.
It was just Ren or
And
Kylo, I should say.
They got a bunch of kind of
Headpieces,
weird,
and,
armors and stuff. But if they're Force sensitive, I heard a possibility. This is kind of I doubt this, but you mentioned bad guys. What if they're not bad guys? What if they're kind of indifferent? What if they're kind of like not good or bad? They just kind of sit back.
Like gray Jedi, almost in a way,
sort of, or kind of like
a bounty hunter, where they do things for
sorta,
themselves,
like a team of mercenaries or whatever, and they just kind of sit back. I don't say mercenaries, but I would assume they have some sort of power. If let's say Ben Solo,
It would almost feel out of place if none of them had Force.
any Force.
powers.
Yeah, they must.
Yeah.
Because did someone say he took a handful of students with him?
Yeah, so he it was in the either the visual dictionary or the Force Awakens novelization that it had said that when Ren left Luke and burned the temple down, or when he turned bad or whatever, he took a quote unquote handful of Luke's trainees with him,
right?
Which led, and it was never confirmed, but it led people to believe that was actually the Knights of Ren.
Yeah, so there's for any people who studied religion, there's some biblical parallels there where Lucifer was cast out of heaven and took a third of all the angels with him. So that I think that's a good comparison there. So I don't know, man. I'm curious about where they are, what they've been doing all this time. It seems like, Snoke called him leader of the Knights of Ren,
Master of the Knights of Ren, Master of the Knights of Ren.
Master. Even so, maybe he had them sitting back in lying in wait for them to unleash them at the right time, or maybe they're just in another part of the galaxy. Who who knows? See, I don't even know. I don't know what to say.
It's interesting
such a mystery.
because I think one of the bigger questions is whether or not they are followers of Snoke or
Right.
if they are followers of Kylo.
Man, good question. Yeah.
And if
Yeah.
they are in fact,
Does it matter at this point?
well, it could
Kinda,
because
'cause
what if they
Snoke's
are?
gone.
What if they became
Well,
loyal
yeah.
to Snoke, and then what if it's hidden that Kylo killed Snoke,
him.
and then they find out in Episode 9?
Right.
What if they could turn on Kylo?
But no one knows that Kylo killed Snoke other than.
Well, it could
Snoke
come
and
out. We
Kylo.
know that Kylo is rash, or no, Ray
Because
does.
he lied and
And
said
Ray
that,
does,
That's true,
and
right.
Ray knows. But
He lied to Hux and
he's
said that Ray
very
killed him.
he's very not outgoing is a terrible phrase, but just like animated, and he says things that are on his mind immediately without thinking about it. And he could say something in the wrong tone,
Right.
wrong way to anybody, and it can go bad really quick. I mean, obviously the possibilities are endless, but yeah, I mean, it's interesting as far as where they are, if they're kind of watching, or if they are in fact a follower of Kylo. Is he going to bring them into the fold now that he's leading the First Order? Or are they something completely separate from that kind of organization? My thing is like, to me, I almost feel like they're relic hunters in a way. That they may be out in the galaxy searching for old Jedi and Sith relics. Temples, because we saw Kylo with Darth Vader's helmet. Maybe they're trying to gain power by that way. You know, getting power from past.
It wouldn't be the first time you've seen something like that.
No, but we've never seen it fleshed out like that, which would be very interesting.
Rebels did it.
Well, Rebels definitely did it.
Kinda.
But okay, I'll say live action. There
you go. Yeah,
We've
yeah.
never seen it on how did Kylo get Darth Vader's helmet? Was he with the Knights of Ren when he went to Endor, or did he go by himself? Like that's the kind of stuff I want to see answered.
Yeah.
But I don't know. There's so much mystery, and the cool thing about it is that I do think they will show up simply because it's J.J. Abrams. It was his idea
Yeah,
for this group, and I think he had a grand plan for them, but because he didn't come back for Episode 8, it was kind of pushed to the side a little bit because Rian Johnson wanted to tell his own story. But now that he's coming back, and there's so many things to kind of wrap up in this final movie. I do want to see them, but I don't want to see them overlap something else that has already been fleshed out through 2 movies, because
Sure.
if just with the tease in The Force Awakens, like it would suck for it not to pay off by the end. It would absolutely suck, but it's also a really cool tease for them maybe doing a movie involving a Luke and young Kylo when he didn't turn, and then he does turn towards the end and creates this Knights of Ren at the end of the movie, or something like a spin-off focusing on them or something like that. But I do think they'll show up, and I think they'll show up in a really cool way because I think that Rey's going to kill every single one.
I hope maybe. Well, I hope
Or
maybe
Force
Kylo,
Ghost loose Luke.
Ben or Yoda with some lightning from the. Well, I hate for this because we thought I remember going into Force Awakens. It was like because we knew the Sith were gone, and it seemed like just hearing the little bit of.
Are the Sith gone though?
Well, yeah, that's a good question, but it seemed like these guys were going to be the new Sith. Just because they kept everything so secret going into that movie, obviously. But just hearing, okay, this character is called Kylo Ren. He's the leader of the Knights of Ren. Mm-hmm. It's like, oh, okay. Well, these are the new bad guys. The new can be Jedi versus these guys. And having not even seen any of them, well, we've seen them, but briefly, not knowing what they are, who or what they are, I'd be disappointed if they're in and out and just in this movie. See, I don't want Ray to kill them all. I want to see them. If there's something special about them, there must be, and if there is, I'd like to see them go beyond just the last half of this movie or whatever they are.
But what if let's say this? What if Episode 9 is in fact the final entry into this whole saga?
Well,
do you want to see it wrapped up, or you want to see it left open? Because what if they never do another movie?
You can wrap up some of the things we've seen, and you can carry on stories like people like Poe and Carrie Fisher's daughter. I can't think of her name, but
General.
What's her? Yeah,
Stretch the Sea.
Yeah.
It's gonna bug me.
Yeah, I know.
Billy
I feel bad.
Lord's character.
Billy Lord's character. Yeah, I can't. But whatever. But yeah, her character going forward, and whatever happens with the new Resistance, New Republic, new threats. We still don't. All of this threat that I keep bringing it up every time I think about it. But whatever this threat is, we keep reading about it in all these books and Aftermath and in the Thrawn book, and we don't know what that is still.
It's out there.
Maybe that's the Knights of Ren. Who knows? I doubt it. But yeah, there's some loose ends that could be tied up in this movie, and there's also things that they can still kind of carry on.
Lieutenant Connix. I knew
Connix,
there was a
yeah,
scene.
Connix. There you go. That's right. It is. Yeah, you're right. Good job. I remember that from the visual dictionary. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to see them just be one and done in this movie. I'd like to see at least them if they're going to carry on.
They got to be involved in the action.
They have to.
They
definitely have to be the antagonists.
They just look like the action set pieces of the movie because of that simple, quick flashback of in The Force Awakens. Because we saw one of them killing a person.
Yeah, right.
In that scene, and so they're heavily armored. They're heavily lethal.
Or was one of them killed?
I mean, that's very possible as well. That could be very possible. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's very interesting. I mean, Brian, you're kind of hearing us, spit and spat about this, man. What are your thoughts about the Knights of Ren and seeing them, not seeing them, how it could happen, etc.?
I don't think they're going to be in it at all.
You don't think that they're going to be in the movie at all?
That's possible.
Nope. I think they're going to be something that we always wanted but never got. They're going to try to not cover it up, but just
Kind of brush it off.
Hide it under the rug, sweep it away. And I don't think they're going to touch on him at all. To me, there's only two options. One, they don't touch him at all, which I think is going to happen. Or B, they're in deep space and they were sent off to recruit and get something going. Those, to me, are the only two options that they would even consider. To be honest, though, I think they're just going to get completely swept under the rug.
Not even a mention?
Maybe Kylo got pissed off and killed them all, after something. Because to me, in my opinion, from The Force Awakens, he stabbed the one of them.
It looked like he
killed one of.
To me, it looked like he was just killing I don't think he was. To me, it looked like he wasn't killing a Knight.
That looked like an armored person.
It looked like he had a helmet or something.
Yeah,
but
I don't know. But
maybe that's the future. Maybe that was something that hadn't happened yet.
Maybe.
Yeah, what if we see that scene play out in Episode 9?
Because we haven't seen that scene
yet. I hadn't thought about that.
Didn't they say that
Holy
wasn't?
F.
I think I heard that wasn't.
I don't know, but
I think I heard that was something that hadn't
could you
happened.
imagine seeing that scene play out in Episode 9?
Yeah.
That would be kind of cool.
What if he's the one that has
Has
to?
she foreseen it all?
Yeah, if she was actually on the ground and that was her seeing it.
But Kylo's got his helmet on that.
I think I heard that.
That's true.
In that scene too.
He does.
But I mean, he could always go back to it. He could, even though he shattered it. He's bound to have a couple of them because he lost it in The Force Awakens and he had it in the beginning of The Last Jedi.
Right.
It's like you have it, so.
I don't think they're gonna do them at all. I really
That's
don't.
a possibility.
But is that what you want to see?
No, absolutely not. I want to see these guys whoop some ass and just come out.
But they're gonna lose.
They're gonna lose, but it's gonna be freaking.
They're gonna
awesome.
lose
Eventually,
But I don't think they're gonna use them at all.
I think here's just a wild, and I just thought of this because I just racking in the brain, and this easily change in the next year or so. But this is what I could see. I could easily see this happening. We have, the movie's going forward. We have a time jump to Episode 9, obviously, whether it's a year, a couple years, whatever it may be. Kylo's in well control of the First Order, even though it's a chaotic little system. But he's also kind of got something on the back burner. And I think he found Vader's castle on Mustafar. And I think they're kind of gaining power from there, per se. And the Knights of Ren are there. And then I think at some point in the movie, we will see the Knights of Ren in action with Kylo. And it'll be them versus Rey and a fully alive Luke Skywalker fighting in a giant scene near the end of the movie.
What do you mean fully alive?
Didn't die at the end of The Last Jedi. I think he's powerful enough to teeter between the living world and the ghost world. Something like that.
All right. I don't know if I'd go that far, but all right.
You don't think he's alive?
I don't know. I really don't.
That's a rumor. I've heard that as a possibility.
It really is a possibility, but I don't know.
He's
maybe,
alive.
Maybe he was projecting himself on.
He's alive.
Act 2 as well.
Yeah, what if he was projecting himself to two
else.
places?
He was somewhere
Holy
else.
F. Could you imagine that?
That would be nuts.
That would be crazy.
The thing
He's on Dagobah.
The thing that I'm looking at a picture of the Knights of Ren. They remind me so much of oh my god, why am I drawing a blank on their
The
names?
Inquisitors?
No. Oh god, that would be dope. That actually is kind of similar to him. But looks wise, actually to be honest, I'm looking at one of the pictures. They look eerily similar to the Sand People, just with metal stuff all over them.
Really?
I know this is kind of like far out there, but they do really look kind of like Sand People.
See, I think that's too far out there.
I don't think they're Sand People in any way, but I honestly almost don't think they have powers.
I think they're highly trained assassins.
That's what I think too. That's why I was comparing to meaning like they just look like Sand People, where they're just kind of like basic people. They're clearly strong if they're gonna follow Kylo Ren, but I honestly don't see them with lightsabers. They remind me a little bit of Praetorian guards.
Well, and that's what people
thought.
That's what people thought, is that they were the Knights of Ren, but freaking glad that they weren't used in that scene because they all died. Right. Even though that scene probably would have been played out a hell of a lot bigger, it just wouldn't have made sense in the context of the story for them to be there. I don't know, man. I mean, with J.J. Abrams, obviously the mystery is always strong. We don't know what's going to happen. We don't really know anything about Episode 9 at this point, other than some castings. Things will start to come out soon, obviously. I would love to see them. I would really, really, really love to see them in this movie. I don't know how it's going to work. I think it has to happen because you got to be able to see that kind of conclude. If, in fact, this is going to be the final entry for the Skywalker saga. And so...
Okay, wait. I'm going to cut you off. I'm looking at the concept art. Tell me that one of them doesn't look like he has a lightsaber on his belt.
That's a lightsaber.
Just like one.
That's 100% a lightsaber.
So, but
is this the actual concept of the Knights of Ren?
Yeah. So
see, but this one has a gun.
That's what I'm saying. It's interesting because one of them has a lightsaber, one of them has a gun. Maybe
so there could be a couple that have force powers and a couple that don't.
Yeah,
maybe.
Here's a possibility because we know that Kylo took some students with him. Maybe he took a couple young ones that maybe were just too young to potential their powers, to get into their powers, and they took a different route or something like that, or maybe he gained people as he went along and cut down the weak ones or something like that. And I don't know, it's interesting. It's very, very interesting, and there's a million different possibilities, obviously, but and I am going to stick to my theory for now that Dominic Monaghan and Matt Smith are both playing Knights of Ren. I think that those two could easily be playing one of them. Matt Smith specifically, obviously, because he's just so menacing in so many different roles. He just looks like a bad guy. But I think that it would be very interesting to see those two guys specifically play opposite a guy like Adam Driver. And specifically a broken down, chaotic Kylo Ren at this point. He is completely off the hinge, and if this movie does take a time jump, he could be farther off the cliff than we even realized at the end of The Last Jedi. So,
and he declared himself the new Supreme Leader.
But Supreme Leader Kylo, that just doesn't. To me, that doesn't really sound right.
I think Supreme Leader Ren.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound right either, though. I don't know.
He probably won't even use his name, just Supreme Leader.
Supreme Leader. Yeah, maybe.
I mean, Hux called him Supreme Leader.
Yeah.
Made him Supreme Leader. Yeah,
that's true.
So,
I don't know that I don't know that they are Force users. Now that I think about it, I mean, maybe, but because it seemed like I may be wrong, of course, but did we hear that the Force was kind of lying dormant for a long time, and hence the title "The Force Awakens," like because of the awakening of.
I think, yeah.
Rey.
I mean, that's very possible. I mean, Kylo is definitely the only one. Him and Snoke At that point, who
At that
had
point, everyone
them?
wants kinda-
Because Luke,
Well,
He shut it off.
he blocked himself off from it, which
Right.
is why he didn't feel Han's death.
Right.
He didn't know Han died because he
Right.
blocked himself off from it.
And
Leia obviously
couldn't
was
find
using
him.
it a little bit, but she's hidden in a way.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, it could definitely have been dormant. At least at the least, it could have been at least quiet.
Yeah.
Shut down in a way. It's very, very interesting. Obviously, yeah. I mean, there's just
It's pretty.
we have a year to think about it
Yeah.
and speculate about it, and I'm pretty shocked that Brian said they're not going to be in there. To be honest, I'm pretty shocked.
It's one of those two.
Well, you're right in the sense that if they're not in it, there won't be any kind of mention,
Yeah,
or
no.
we won't see them, we won't hear.
Let me ask you this:
They have to-
if they aren't in it, will they do a spinoff?
No.
Uh,
Because then how they're going to need Kylo involved in some way.
Yeah. What if it's set like 5 years before the Force Awakens, 4 years before the Force Awakens?
What if-
Before we see Rey, before we see the Resistance, all of that. No Poe, no Leia, nothing.
I think
what if they win, and they kill all the good
They're
guys?
not winning.
And we
Keith,
gotta wait for the Broom Kid to
Keith,
come up.
they're not winning.
and fight them in
They're
like
not
15 years.
Kylo is falling so hard. He's done.
I think he's going to be.
I don't know if he's.
Kylo's dying
I
hard.
think he's
I don't
going to
know.
be crazy in this. I think he literally is going to be.
I think
make
or-
him psychotic.
I think we're going to see Yellow Eyes.
You think?
Dude, I would love to see Yellow because it emphasizes that he's gone absolutely over the edge.
I think it'll be Yellow Eyes.
He's already turned to the dark side, and
But this is like Anakin Skywalker dark, like
he killed his own father, and he didn't really. I get you. I hear you. I mean, maybe, but
Yeah, but Anakin killed.
it seems like he
younglings.
can't get any more evil than he is.
I don't know, man. I think he can go darker. He didn't kill his mom. He didn't kill Leia.
That's true. You're right.
He didn't kill Leia. Anakin killed younglings.
That's true.
I think you get Yellow Eyes when you have literally no good left in you, and I think he has, and that's why he's. I full 100
But Anakin
believe
did have
think
good.
he,
There was good in him. They
yeah,
can feel
in the
it.
end. But did we ever
Leia,
know
not
if he
Leia,
had yellow eyes?
Natalie Portman.
Well,
What's her
that's
name?
true. He did have yellow eyes in
Padme.
the third movie.
Padme. Yeah, she felt it.
Yeah, he did have yellow eyes in the third movie. But I think he's just gonna go full on psychotic crazy.
Maybe.
I think he's not gonna even
But
be mentally like stable to the point where like everyone around him are gonna be like, what is he doing?
But that's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
If that happens, then everyone's going to be trying to kill him. Then
Yeah, exactly.
the whole First Order is going to be even Hux or whoever's going to be. I mean, Hux is a bumbling goofball, but
Yeah.
whoever's the
Well, Hux hates him. So.
yeah, and they definitely So
I think Hux bites. I
there'd
honestly
be a
think.
coup, and maybe
I think Hux bites the dust early in the movie.
because Kylo
personally,
maybe I think
I think
Kylo
he
Ren kill
will
him.
to show his power maybe, and he's gonna
Yeah.
kill his general.
But because he's not a part of the like the same way Vader wasn't really in the Empire. Well, he wasn't part of the chain of command. Like Kylo Ren is the same thing. He's not really in the order of like I said the chain of command.
What if he tries to help the good guys to get
So
Who?
out? Hux.
to help to kill
get
him that
rid of Ren.
Well, see, no, that there was a rumor going around of the story where Hux was basically became an agent for the Resistance. He
Oh, I
went to them
didn't hear that.
because
I
of
just said
Kylo.
it 'cause-
Because of Kylo, that he basically wanted to take him down, but it was because it was for his own agenda.
sure.
Ultimately,
Yeah.
I personally wouldn't want to see that because he's loyal to the First Order,
Right. No,
and I don't think the character
but
would do that.
Is his father still alive?
No, his
No, his
father.
father died.
Okay.
His father
That's
died.
I didn't finish.
Yeah.
Aftermath.
I think I
Yeah.
didn't finish it. Okay.
Yeah.
But he's loyal to the First Order. He's not loyal to Kylo Ren.
Right.
Yeah, but it's.
He's loyal to Snoke. And,
I don't-
Yeah, you're right. And now Snoke's gone. Yeah,
Well,
you
not
might
his-
be right.
I don't think Snoke's. I don't think we're done with Snoke yet. I think in some capacity something with Snoke is going to happen in
I
this
think
movie.
he's gone.
Yeah,
I think that's
I think
coming
they
up.
shut that down.
I-
People
yeah.
were so pissed off. I think that they would be stupid to open up.
Yeah.
But you also got to remember that JJ also set up the Snoke thing in this movie. Maybe he has something planned for him.
That's possible.
Uh,
I could. Yeah.
I think Snoke's done.
I don't think physically. I think that there's
No, I
something
think
going to
he's-
be involved with Snoke
Done.
in this movie still.
Yeah.
I think he's done.
It's fair. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll actually physically see him walking around with
Like we'll see Luke.
You're right. Yeah.
I don't think
we will see.
I think
But,
he's mentioned maybe, and that's it.
Yeah.
Man, you're just on a tear today.
No, I just think there's.
What do you think will be in this movie, Brian?
I think it's just going to be an all-out war.
Yeah,
The whole movie.
that would be great.
An all-out
Actual
battle
Star Wars.
Royale war.
A real space battle. That's what
Yeah.
I would like to see.
I think.
Well, the
X-Wings.
the Black Squadron's coming back.
That's
Led
right.
by Snap Wexley, and then
Yes.
Poe will get back in there.
Where was he? Where was he in?
They said that
They
they
sent
sent him to
him
do a mission. He
Oh, I
was,
didn't know that.
Yeah, so they came out and said that they
Okay.
sent Snap with the Black Squadron, which is Poe's X-Wing group. They sent him to deep space to find allies, basically.
Okay.
And that's why we didn't see X-Wings in The Last Jedi. That's why there were none in there
Yeah,
besides
yeah,
Poe. And so Snap will be back.
want a
Jessica
dog fight.
Stroop from... not Jessica Henwick from Iron Fist, who plays Colleen Wing. She was in The Force Awakens
Yeah.
as one of the pilots. She
was,
will
wasn't
probably
she?
be in there again with Snap. And then we'll see Poe back in there, obviously. But it'll be interesting to see who he brings along with
He
him.
doesn't have a ship. Though.
He doesn't... Dude, that guy can fly anything.
I know.
They
but
still make
I
X-Wing.
don't think
Think
he'll
he'll
be in an X-wing.
Well, he's going to be leading
Nah,
the charge.
he's an
He'll be
X-Wing.
leading the charge.
But he's an X-wing pilot.
I think...
He'll be-
No, I think he'll be an X-Wing. I think
Yeah.
Finn will be leading the ground assault with Kelly Marie Tran and some others, maybe a new
She's gonna be
character.
leading a ground assault.
I think she'll be on the ground with Finn. I 100% think she'll be on the ground with Finn. She's not gonna be on a ship.
Yeah, her sister was a.
That's her sister though. She's an engineer.
Yeah.
I think she'll be
I
on
think
the
she
ground
did
with
fight
Finn.
in the
Yeah.
end of The Last Jedi.
Yeah. I don't know.
I
I mean,
think she's
Was
gonna
she
be-
in one of those?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was
the one
at-
that
yeah.
snapped,
That's
Finn
right.
from
Yeah,
Sacrifice
that's right.
and stuff.
Wow, I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I see her more like being like with a headset, like telling them what to do.
Yeah, maybe.
Kind of just like, all right, it's clear. Take like that.
Or on
type
board
stuff.
one of the capital ships.
Yeah.
Kind of leading.
kind of
yeah.
like
dispatcher, like a
strategic.
dispatcher. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think JJ will definitely do the character justice after everything's been going on with her.
Sure.
Obviously, and maybe giving her a little bit more scenes. Hopefully, giving Finn a little bit more to do.
Better stuff to do.
Um,
yeah.
I think a lot of people are gonna bite it.
I need a
Yeah.
dog fight. I want a
Hell
dog
yeah.
fight between Poe and Kylo Ren. With Kylo Ren's
Dude.
cool TIE Defender? Is that what
TIE
it's
Silencer.
called?
TIE Silencer, yeah.
Oh, man, that's
That ship's awesome.
one-on-one dog fight. between
Yeah,
the two
we
of them.
haven't seen Kylo on a ship, and
Like,
well, we saw him a
really-
little bit.
Yeah,
we
briefly.
we haven't seen him actually get into like a fight with
Right.
anybody.
I want to.
And there's no doubt that he has his grandfather's genes.
Yes.
He's a pilot at heart.
And his
Hello.
uncles.
100%.
What does the Skywalker name mean?
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, his
spoiler,
father's also
sweet.
Han Solo too. I forgot about that.
His
His father's also Han Solo. And he
Right.
flies the Falcon. So it's
Yeah.
like he's got flying blood.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
I mean, well, we already know from.
No, well, hold on, real quick before you say that. Here's an interesting thought: do we see Poe in the Falcon flying against Kylo?
Nah.
You don't think so?
Not in the Millennium Falcon.
You don't think so?
If they do,
That's-
they're gonna-
I 100% think that can happen.
That's Chewbacca and Rey only. Are the people who fly that ship. That's it.
Okay, what if it's Rey and Kylo?
Kylo Ren will fly the Millennium Falcon before anybody.
That
else.
won't happen.
No.
That won't
He
happen.
could, but no.
A Rey and Kylo dogfight with the Falcon and Silencer, dude. That sounds
Yeah.
crazy.
Who's flying the Falcon?
It's Rey and Chewie, both of them.
Yeah,
No,
Rey's gonna be on the ground.
but we need somebody on the guns though. Somebody's gotta.
Finn. There's your answer.
Oh, yeah.
Finn
What
or
about the
Poe. Poe can be on the guns.
Oh,
He's
okay,
he's a
yeah.
shooter.
other- That's true.
Poe
Okay.
flies.
Yeah. Oh, that's
Poe
kinda
has
cool.
to fly.
That's kinda
Because
cool.
remember, they're all
But-
on the Falcon.
Right.
They're all on the Falcon right now.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
I don't know. Possibilities.
Depending
are
on where
endless,
it
man.
picks up.
Possibilities are on this. I mean, there's so many things that we're going to be talking about over
Yeah.
the next year or so. We can literally spend a half hour talking about every single character and what they're going to be doing in this movie. But hopefully you enjoyed our talk on the Knights of Ren. If you have anything that we have missed or you think or thoughts or theories or whatever it may be, head down in the comments and let us know. We will definitely get back to you. We would love to hear what you guys think because I'm sure that there's definitely theories that we haven't even come close to thinking of that you can easily shoot down there in the comments. So that is Keith. That is Brian. I am Jake. Admiral Akbarnes, Silent Assassin, Qui-Gon Jake. We thank you for joining us today on the Padawan Podcast. Check out everything we got going on apocalypsemovies.com where we do news articles on all the big movie stuff that comes out weekly, as well as this YouTube channel. We got the Padawan Podcast, trailer reactions, movie reviews, and look out for the Solo A Star Wars Story commentary we're actually going to try a commentary piece, and we're going to be sitting there watching Solo and talking about it. Myself, Keith, Brian, and Jacob. We're all going to be doing it here in a few weeks when it comes out on Blu-ray. So check that out. That might headline the next Padawan. So again, thank you for joining us today on the Padawan Podcast. We appreciate all the support. And until next time, may the Force be with you.